Guys, it winds me up so much. I set up the camera and the door's open. Oh, one day I will learn. I don't know, I have had my period back. I got it back like 2 weeks ago, I think. And then it came down ridiculously ill. I believe it was because I was burning the candle at both ends. I was suffering from pretty burnt out. But even though I was pretty burnt out, I obviously wasn't burnt out that much because I was able to get my period. Compared to what I used to be like, it was like pretty much a dream because I was obviously just ill. Whereas last year and the year before when I was really, really lean, I was just not pleasant to be around. And I think a lot of people, if you are struggling to get your period back or you've been extreme dieting, then you are potentially someone that is suffering from burnout and you don't even know it. So I thought I would go through some of the symptoms that I had when I was going through burnout, and then the sort of things that I do to try and like sort myself out basically. I'm a big believer that stress and burnout will manifest in different ways for absolutely anyone. But for me, it was definitely like pure exhaustion, lack of motivation. Everything felt like hard work. I had ridiculous brain fog. I felt as if I couldn't really concentrate. I felt as if I had so much to do, but I couldn't really channel it. My skin was really bad. My hair was really brittle. My digestion was horrendous. Also, my thoughts were really, really negative. I find that when I'm burnt out, I just stop eating. I prioritize everything else other than self-care, and the things that I do when I'm burnt out is I don't really eat. So like for dinner, I would just like eat some iceberg lettuce with some hummus on top, and like that would be it. And I find myself prioritizing things that I have to do and completely rejecting the things that make me feel good. So I would cancel on friends, I would and do more work. Yeah, and I found that when I'm burnt out, I have more negative thoughts around body image, around my life, around where I'm going. From a spiritual side, I find that when I'm burnt out, majority of my chakras end up closed. So I find that I really struggle to see the bigger picture and to set goals and really reach for them, or I really struggle to say what I'm thinking, or I really struggle to let people in and I push people away. I tend to push like loved ones away and stuff when I'm burnt out, when actually what you really kind of need is a little bit of self-care and a little bit of love. But because you're so like wired and you're so, you hear my squeaky sofa, you're so wired and you're so pumped, it's really, really difficult to let those people in. There's some key things that we can do to help burnout. I think the first thing to do is to notice that you've got burnt out. So whether you're experiencing any of those symptoms, I'm a big fan of having a list. If you know me, I do love a list about everything, of having things that really top you up. If you're not a list person, just knowing the things that really top you up, like to fill up your cup basically. You know the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. I always like the idea of a list because I'm probably, when I'm burnt out and when I'm a bit stressed, I'm not going to naturally think of these things to do because I'll be prioritizing other things that have to be done. So having it in a list can be like, I can just go, oh my God, I'm feeling really shit and I'm feeling really stressed out. What do I need to do? I need to get back into alignment. I find my list and then I do something on that list. So for me, for example, it's a good book and an early night. It's a walk down by the sea. It's all those little things that make you feel so much better. I think as well, when it comes to burnout, if you're from a past similar to mine, we're a bit people pleasery, or recovering at people pleasers is what I've read in some spiritual books, and that potentially stems from that feeling of not feeling good enough. And I think to help with burnout, which burnout comes from obviously overexerting yourself, which could come from people pleasing, and also that would then stem from not feeling good enough, is I think a real good tip is to really work on your self-esteem and working potentially with a therapist or journaling or meditation that can help you really dive deep into why you are people pleasing, or why you don't feel good enough, or who are you doing this for, like why are you burnt out, and what was it that was stemming from that. And I think that's where journaling really, really helps. You can like write today's date and write like, today I'm feeling mega burnt out, and then you can retrace your steps to find out what was that catalyst that made you where did it very much start. And another thing when you're burnt out is bringing, if just to make it really simple, is bringing it back down to your foundations: your food, your water, your sleep, and your hygiene. So all four of those 4 of those things are what I always bring it back down to. Am I fueled enough? Am I drinking enough water? Am I getting enough sleep? And am I feeling good in myself in terms of like hygiene? So like whether I'm like making sure I'm washing my face and doing my full skincare routine, because I know that makes me feel good. If you can bring it back to those 4 things, I think that really helps, because I don't know about you, but food especially is the one thing that when I'm burnt out I could just completely neglect. So if you can bring it back down to like your basic needs, is a really nice and easy way, without doing too much thinking, about how to help yourself out of burnout. Because majority of the time when we are going through burnout, one of those things can even bring like relationships into it. Are you making time for your loved ones, and are you allowing yourself to be loved and give love freely as well? Finally, a good one that I do is to bring it back and work out what I want and why do I want it. But I just felt very lost, and I didn't really know like my direction. So my stepdad's big into mindset and into spirituality, and we went into the garage and we sat for about like 2 or 3 hours, and he just said like, what do you want and why do you want it? And that is the one thing that keeps me going. And every time I'm burnt out, I just bring myself back to that question of like, hold up, what is it I want? Like, why am I burnt out? Is this what I want, or am I burnt out because I'm working towards what I want? And if I am, then why do I want that? Like, is this what I want? Working out what you want is probably the easiest part. So it might be like you want a loving family, you want to live a successful life, you want X amount of money or whatever. But the why is the stuff that is the thing that keeps you going. And I think a lot of the time we're very focused on what we do want, but we sometimes lose our why. And sometimes our whys and our whats change, and your why is the backup and the evidence about why you need to go for it. And there's been times that I've been like, oh yeah, no, I don't want that anymore. So I've had to sit back and bring myself back to that. What do I want and why do I want it? And the why, I've said loads of it, is like the most crucial thing. I guarantee burnout isn't what you want. And then leading on from there, once you know what you want and why you want it, then you can set goals that are manageable and achievable and sustainable. When during burnout, you can kind of be a little bit everywhere, and it just helps channel. Setting achievable goals and having them visually somewhere really, really helps. And it could even be setting a goal that's like, maybe is on that list of things that fill you up. Your goal could be just to achieve 3 of those things. So it might be, I'm gonna have a bath tonight, an Epsom salt bath, and I'm gonna really switch off and do a meditation. One of your goals could be to do a meditation every day. It doesn't have to be something that's like crazy, like work at achieving goals, if that doesn't fill you up. So you wake up every single day with an intention and a purpose. And I think that's really crucial when you feel in a funk or you're a little bit burnt out. You need to have that purpose, and you need to have that what and that why. I said earlier, but you can't pour from an empty cup, and you're also no good to someone if you're burnt out. So it's making sure that you're working on those goals, and you've got those goals and you've got your why, but also you've got those things that help fill you up at the same time. So yeah, those are my like little mindset-y weird things about burnout and motivation and working on your goals. I guess that's all I've got to say on the matter. So I'll see you next week. Oh, while we're here, if you're watching on YouTube, please can you like and subscribe, because it really supports my channel and helps my videos reach the people that really need it. If you're on Instagram, then just like a like or a comment just to support, because that helps with the algorithm as well. So cheers, loves. Thanks, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Bye.